Do Quantum. That's the student organization I'm part of. To give a brief understanding, my brief understanding of it, which is very little so far. Do Quantum is basically like a student org, but that's basically like a lab. What they do is that they bring students who are interested in quantum from various levels. So you could be an undergrad, you could be doing your master's, you could be maybe a PhD. I don't think it's PhD students, but like you get the idea. And they bring you, you find the problem in quantum in like an applied space or a theoretical space. So maybe it's in finance, maybe it's in machine learning, maybe it's in bio, right? Finance and bio, I know those are like really big fields for quantum right now, are really promising fields. So you do that, and then they help you develop your research, and then by the second semester, you work on a solution to publish. And it's really just a matter of like building experts or building people who build solutions, build actual stuff in the quantum field and give you experience and help them develop the quantum field. Because UMD is a place that's investing a lot in quantum and a bit more broad. Maryland is a place that's developing a lot of quantum. I believe they want to be like the state for quantum. So that's the club I'm part of, student or club. I don't even know the proper term. I went to the first meeting today. It does seem a bit intense. Not in a bad way. It just seems like it seems like one of those anime boot camps or something. Because the way they were talking seemed like very strict about like they have phasing out periods. So, like you have the first phasing out period where a lot of people will probably phase out. That's like from them. Not a lot of people, but phase out where it's like okay, you have to do a presentation, you have to do an interview or something like that, and the next one you have to do another thing, and then this couple talk about people who eventually just don't meet the requirements and just fall through the cracks. I think, but it does seem really cool. It seems like a really cool group. We paired up today, and I paired up with this really cool dude who's also interested in machine learning. I think the thing I really like is that quantum is a field I don't know much about, and I think it's two reasons for that. One, I just don't know because like not something I've been researching, but it's also such a field that's so early on. I'm gonna take off my headphones. It's a field that's so early on that's like okay, this is like if you learn even like one thing, like you feel like you know more than 99% of people, but it also means they can contribute a lot, especially when it's early on. I think. So I think that's why I'm excited. I also think I want to see. I don't know much about quantum, so do this thing, do this program. I hope to just learn more about it. It's something that's always interested me. It's a cool word, and I wonder if it can make machine learning training like more efficient or more cost effective. I actually don't know how that works. So as I'm researching, I'll also be learning the basics, which is gonna be a fun experience to have. But yeah, quantum quantum is something I'm doing now. I guess one thing I do like is that quantum is a really cool thing to say. Like you just saying, like you're researching quantum computers is like a really, I don't know, it seems cool to me at least. But I'm excited. I'm probably going to do more research over the weekend to see where in machine learning, besides training, does quantum actually have applications. I think that's one of the things of quantum is, well, I guess I also have to be very honest again. Even I said at the beginning, I don't know much. So I do feel like since it's such an early on field, it's like it's hard to see the applications. For me, the only applications I can actually like explain somewhat is like the one with RSA encryption or cybersecurity, because the quantum algorithms will be able to break a lot of the encryptions we use to secure a lot of the stuff we value, just because of how they work. So then that's an application. But when it comes to like machine learning, I don't know much about that. So I'm really hoping to learn more and just like the excitement. It's like one of those things I'm curious about. I think on a larger note, I think now I'm in UMD. I do think I've been taking my curiosity a bit more seriously in the sense that I selfishly let it drive my movement sometimes. Like even this class I'm doing now, the one with like AI agents, I don't get credit for the class. So I already said this before. I don't get credit. I don't think I will get credit. I could try doing a plea, but I think they'll just say, nah, it's out of our hands, and they will never let me be the person whose hand is in. So I'm not getting credit, and it's on a Friday at like 3 to 4 p.m. However, it's such a cool class, and I think it's really interesting because it's like okay, you work with AI agency, you can obviously do that by yourself, but I think what's so valuable is the community you're doing it in. It's like having other people who are learning this with you and other people who are willing to teach it to you is a really cool experience. Just having people talk about AI stuff is always fun, and that's something I always love to see, especially I don't know, especially um, there's no there's no ending to that sentence. But also, it's just cool. It's a cool space. I remember we're talking about some AI news. It's cool to talk about different stuff. Sometimes it even shifts out of AI. So I guess we'll talk about like the. I was using my XO glasses, and then we're talking about the new Ray Bans Meta came out with, which I really want. Like if you're watching this, I want to get me a birthday gift. I want those glasses. Um, but yeah, I think it's a cool space. But I think that's just one case of me like saying, okay, even though I'm not gonna get anything like practical, not tangible, right, that can help. Since I'm not going, even though I'm not going to get anything tangible, I'm just doing it out of curiosity because it's a cool place to learn. And sometimes I just go into classes that like, oh, I think this is cool. I remember there was an intro to machine learning course. I just sat down for a while. I had, I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea what to talk about. Um, I was lost at some point, but it was nice to say, like, okay, how does this class work, and then what level am I currently on? And I think it was comforting to know that I knew like some of the stuff without like having actually like done the class before. But it was also like jarring to like see like, okay, I have no idea what that is. Like those equations, I had no idea what they were. But also to be fair, no one in the class also didn't know the equations work. I remember just, like the professor kept on asking questions and no one in the class could answer them. I was like, wow, okay, I guess I guess we're on the same level right now. Um but yeah, I think it's a really cool thing to let curiosity drive you. I know you still need discipline because you can't just say, oh, I'm interested in this, I'm interested in that. You have to kind of say, okay, why do I have many interests? I do have to build myself. So even with this quantum thing, a big fear of mine is like, okay, am I deviating too much now? I know it's something that's really interesting, but am I deviating? And that's something that I have to say. But I also know on the flip side of that, I'm still very early on, depending on how you look at it. I think I should use this opportunity to learn more, right? It's not a matter of saying I've done this for the past 6 months and this defines who I am as a person. If I want to be an expert in RAG, which sounds something I don't think you should brag about, but actually maybe you should. But if I want to be an expert in RAG, then I can be an expert in RAG. If I want to be an expert in quantum machine learning, I can be an expert in quantum. Wherever thing I say I want to look into more, I can just go look into that more. It's not something we have to let the past 6 months, a year define how I pursue my research. Um, but yeah, besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.